Hello, my loves. How are you? So, Saturn is officially direct. Mercury moves direct tomorrow. I feel guided to pull some messages for the next upcoming few weeks and months. Just some supportive messages. So, whatever you see in the title will be what came through. Okay, my loves. All right. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're having a big snowstorm here where I am. So I'm just hunkered down and cozied up for the day. Where are you guys? How is the weather? What's going on with you? Let me know in the comments if you would like to share. I know some of you are sitting in the sun and the summer vibes, and I'm over here in the snowstorms. So all part of the balance and harmonization, right? Okay. I am shuffling the traditional tarot. Okay, so the Seven of Wands flew out. And this is immediately bringing me to the energy that's been coming through connected to straddling both worlds. It's like where we're completing out a lot of those old karmic cycles, but we're still, in process, but moving much more clearly into the new energy. The Seven of Wands comes after the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is the victory card. I don't always read the traditional meanings, but it is coming through today. And so this feels that we've overcome something and we've moved into a victorious energy. Yes, we're moving forward. We're in the new cycle. We're in the new phase, but we are still recalibrating and harmonizing over the next few weeks and months, which makes sense. But there is a tremendous amount of growth. And with this seven, it's bringing me to that idea of having growth in every area of life: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual health, finances, resources, home, relationships, purpose, career, job, however you connect with it. All of these areas are starting to bloom and blossom. And what I'm seeing is that you've been working on these areas all along. And over the next few weeks and months, you're going to see more sprouting from the seeds you've been planting as you've been going into the shadow work, essentially fertilizing the seeds. Now you're going to start to see more growth. I'm actually feeling that many of you may also feel deep moments of just resigned rest where you're just deeply resting, and then you are having bouts followed by creative bursts, ideas. Write those down, jot those down, doodle them down. This may or may not be a moment of very big action over the next few days as things are resettling. But what it does feel like over the next few weeks is very much like a brainstorming energy. These ideas, these creations, these connections, things are starting to really have space through your rest, through your downtime to start to open up and bloom out of the ground, sort of feeling that's what's coming through. Okay, I want to see if something else wants to come through. Okay, the Knight of Swords. So this also feels like someone or something from the past is going to come charging forward into your space, is what's coming through right now. It This is interesting because it feels like a storm that comes out of nowhere. And I want to get more on this because the way that it's galloping in, the way that it's like charging in, some of you might feel like, whoa, because you're over here in your peaceful energy. And this feels like it's going to come like crashing in, but this does not necessarily mean that this is a negative thing at all. In fact, it feels like a burst, a surge of energy from something from the past. Wow. Okay, I definitely have to get more with this. I'm actually gonna pull more. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shaman dream, and then we're gonna pull some more from the Light Seers Tarot. Okay, what do we got? Okay. So this it's from the crossing initiation. So wow. Okay. This feels like a past timeline that was resonant with your highest timeline. So there was something you've experienced in your life that felt the most true, the most organic, the most authentic. And it was beautiful and it was gorgeous and it what sparked you on this journey. For many of you, this may be your sacred union, love initiation, your initiation into love, your twin flame initiation. But it could also be any type of experience, an illness, a job loss, a home loss, anything where you're having sort of that dark night of the soul initiation. But this does feel that prior to this massive initiation, there was something really beautiful that seeded a lot of these gifts that are now preparing to blossom. And as a result, that what is coming through is the original true core soul timeline, the timeline your soul always intended to land on is going to be opening. And as it's opening, if it's not already opening, this energy, quote unquote, from the past is going to be galloping back into your present. This is interesting because it's connecting with a video I did for my members on a few days ago. And it spoke about something clearing between the masculine and feminine, an old vow or oath or promise that was actually keeping things stuck in the old pain, but both had outgrown. So there was something being recalibrated with that. For any of you who want to check that out, that's in my pinned comment, or I'll put that, member area in the pinned comments. It's on Patreon and YouTube. But this feels like as this opens, divinely aligned, divine order, this energy from the past comes galloping in. And but it's like there's clouds in both of these pictures, but what it feels like it's sort of like the bursting through the clouds, the bursting through the confusion, and that recalibration onto that aligned timeline. Now that I think back, this message has been coming through for like at least a month or so, because if I go back to the end of October, early November, I spoke about that artist who literally was painting scenes, and then he would have like another timeline come in and onto the scene, so they were happening simultaneously. Yeah, okay. If I can find that video, I'll put that in the pinned comment too. There was some on members and here on YouTube. But it was just like this divinely orchestrated, almost like that lightning strike of two timelines syncing back up, resurging back together, like remerging. Okay. I'm definitely gonna I said I was gonna pull some light seers with this. Wow. Okay. I knew something wanted to come in today. Wow. Okay. Ooh, let me calm down. I'm good, but I can feel like the huge surge of energy that is coming forth with this. Now, if I had to connect in with this for the masculine and feminine, this feels like the feminine's really, harmonizing in her world, working on her creations, working in that harmonization energy, really enjoying her space and her time, and just open to receiving what's aligned for her, but also just sort of enjoying the peacefulness that she's created for herself. And this feels like the masculine energy receiving like a massive surge of clarity and swift movement forward, really fast bursts of like coming out of the clouds over this next few weeks and months. This does feel connected with that like Saturn. I'm going to call it the Saturn surge because that's how it's coming through. It's like a big burst out of the karmic energies. So for the feminines here watching, if you've really been cleaning up those karmic patterns, you may notice your specific masculine or other things in your life coming forward or returning, but in very new, clear energy. Wow. Okay. There's almost like I want to say this, but I'm gonna say it before I pull the cards just in case. But it's feeling like it's gonna be even different than what you've ever expected. So if you've had a vision how that might play out or what it might feel like, this is definitely a like expect the unexpected. It's there's gonna be different elements to it that you have not been privy to. But again, this feels like a positive thing. What I'm seeing is it's almost like pieces to the puzzle that you didn't know you were missing because you've been working on your side. Okay. But when this comes in, when it comes into alignment, it's going to be like those puzzle pieces sync right back up. So whatever, however, what's coming through is it could be that reunion, it could be a moment of time where you're re-supporting one another with new keys and codes. It could be if it's not, if your masculine or feminine is not present or available, it could be a surrogate energy coming in to support you or yes, I feel like there's a lot of different ways that this could come in. What feels most important is that it's in your highest alignment and you're open to receiving it. And of course, open to navigating your own embodiment of how you want to participate with it as it comes in. What I'm really sensing for those masculine and feminine counterparts, twin flames that will be syncing back up is that these feminines that are ready to receive this are exceedingly stable and strong and ready to receive the masculine in his full true energy and power, where perhaps in the past that might have thrown her off her axis or um, thrown her off her game. But this feels like no, she's ready to meet him there in that energy. Like it feels like they can both dance in that stable, strong energy. But I'm still feeling the beautiful essence of her feminine softness with that steady strength. Okay. All right. What else do we got? I said I was gonna pull more. Let's see. It's 11:10, and that feels significant right before the moment of 11:11. And I feel like I looked at the clock at that time on purpose. It's like preemptive right before, like the dawning. Okay. Yeah. There's definitely a few things getting cleaned up before, like some clouds being cleared out, some energies being recalibrated. It is. It's like the feminine sitting in her peaceful space, doing her thing, aligned with her timeline. And all of a sudden, this like light portal opens up and the masculine comes galloping in. 11:11. Wow. Okay. So, for any of you who are resonating with this, let me know. It almost feels like a movie, but we work on these cosmic dimensions. Okay. That flipped out. So we have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. So what I'm sensing is this actually is bringing me deep, deep into that core wound, core separation wound energy that I've been talking about. I can feel the depth of that original essence, but I can feel where so much has been cleared. This is why they're just about ready to meet back up in the heart space. And there's still some healing to occur, but it feels like the restoration, the reunion of this meeting is going to allow the deeper states of the heart healing and the reparations to occur. This is leading to the Ten of Pentacles energy. And what I'm sensing is this reparation, this healing that's occurring in the heart for the shared space for both, however you all choose to move forward. This is healing and sealing things to allow everyone connected to it to move forward in joy and happiness. So it's really going what's going to determine what unfolds is what feels aligned for everyone. This is like the process between the heartbreak and the Ten of Pentacles is your capacity to actually continue to honor your truth and honor and accept the truth of the other and see where you can work to support one another physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, whatever is actually aligned for things to come into harmonious balance. It feels important right now to leave space and grace for things to open and unfold naturally, even if you have an idea preemptively of what the result may be. It feels important to remain tempered, to remain open and aligned to what is truly the highest and best for everyone involved. All right. Okay. I'm guided to get one more of the shaman dream. Yes. Wow. Okay. Crown Games, right use of power. So that's what this feels like. This heart healing, this opening up, whatever's reopening, and the healing opportunity that's available is helping both the masculine and feminine come into the truth. Their aligned energy, their aligned power, each of them finding their own power and their own truth about the circumstances, about their connection, about their experience, about their life, and truly honoring each other and the connection and allowing what really is best to be what unfolds. This feels really important. And as I'm sitting here, it's like the heart and the solar plexus. I want to read more about the crown games or, let's see this right. Oh, wow. Okay. I also am feeling like as these energies come back together in that reparation, I do feel a deeper activation of the power of the creation energy, of the ignition of the purpose of this experience, of this initiation. It feels like a restoration back to that original purpose, the original agreement, the original soul contract. But what I'm feeling within this energy is that as long as you're staying steady and aligned, honoring yourself, honoring the other, and you give things the space and grace to breathe and play out, continuing to surrender to source, to the highest alignment, in breathing with it, it's going to just naturally allow the truth and the power of the connection to reveal itself in a way that is able to be sustainable in the physical world. And this is important because what the reason the separations occur is because there was instability and a need to process some things within the connection within each to go grow to get to this point to it's not about this coming forward and being perfect. It's in the process of the recalibration, of the reparation, that now you're not only learning how to use this energy for yourself and in the shared space and in the energies, but now you're deepening into how to sustain and maintain this in the physical world while sustaining your sovereignty as an individual being, but also sustaining and maintaining the sacred union connection in each other. So it's like as you're each embodying into your own true power and essence, that feeds the bigger overall energy. And it's what I'm seeing is it's just like this beautiful growth serum. It's like the more each of you stay in your true power, in your own energy, and yet at the same time learn how to harmonize and work together in the physical, right? In the energies, this is just your natural nature, but this is something that's learning how to be embodied in the physical, not based on the old relationship templates, but on the sacred union, unity consciousness, interdependent templates that is the whole reason you were activated and initiated into this experience in the first place. Okay. So, what's coming up, what is going to be coming available in the next weeks and months and through the year of 2026 is an opportunity to actually embody the sacred union energies with another. Okay. You've been working on the internal union and you've been embodying and getting steadier and steadier with that. So, what's also coming through is I know some of you have had areas where you've still felt uncomfortable or uneasy or uncertain, or maybe having a little bit of insecurity or wanting to run. And it feels like it's really important between now and when this comes in, that you are strengthening into your capacity to not run or wall or freeze or shut down in the face of discomfort, but to be able to face it, set your standards, take space, but also have that intention that, okay, I'm not running away or freezing. I'm just gonna go recalibrate with this so that I can come forward and speak to you and work through this in the highest and best way. And you can practice this with everything in your life, everyone and everything. Okay. So just notice, because this did come up a week or so ago, that the feminines were finding pockets of energy in their system where they may still feel like they want to run and wall. So this is where you know, okay, I got to embody my deeper energy, my standards into the places where I want to run or wall. I may not be open to the old ways that things were, right? I'm not open to specific behaviors or treatment, but what am I open to, right? Okay. So I'm going to have you guys sit with that. We're going to leave it here. I feel a potential to come on for members a bit later, but I'm going to give these messages some space to breathe. If and when I do post, I will put it in my post tab for you to know that it's there, or you can sign up for YouTube member or Patreon member, and you'll be notified when that comes through. All right, my loves. Also, just so you know, really quick, I do have my recorded guided meditative energy sessions available. And also, I think there's a few of those 30-minute intuitive reading sessions left for next week. Those will only be available until next week, unless I am guided otherwise down the road. But for now, that will be closing out next week. If you're interested, all of that information will be in the pinned comments. And again, wherever you are, I hope you're cozy and warm and comfortable and having a beautiful rest of your day or night. Much love. Take care. Peace.